All right. Pray that our sound is good. Did you hear me?
Yeah. Good sound.
No, I said pray that it's good. All right. We about ready to roll. So, we have woods behind us tonight. Did you notice that, Thrift?
I did. Are we live?
Yeah. Are you on our page?
No, I didn't even know we were live.
Good evening, Corey. Thank you. Said sounds good here. So, what's up, Marty? We're
Are we for real live? How'd I miss that?
I don't understand. We've been sitting here talking about it, and you've been over there playing on your phone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I missed it.
Jeff said we're going to go live in a minute. And
well, he says a lot of things, but that don't mean it happens.
That's true.
So
sometimes. What's up, y'all? Stephen, Marty, Corey, Leanne. Hello, hola. So
I'm trying to figure this mic's way up in my face.
What? You can't do nothing with this guy.
Yeah, if we're gonna have to sit on the couch, I'm gonna need a reclining couch.
Robbie's back. Robbie's back. What's up, Robbie? All right. So, by the way, we made a deal with Robbie earlier today that we are going to have him on the show if he wins the MPFL championship, which is in a couple weeks.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yep. Robbie's over.
Get him, Robbie.
Robbie's not far away, 3 or 4 hour drive, maybe something like that. Hey, Mike. All right, getting some people built up on here pretty quick. So, as of right now, y'all know if you tuned in last week with Mr. New and myself, this is a temporary studio. This is a temporary intro.
So. This couch is nice, but my butt's gonna be asleep pretty quick.
The intro is we don't have an intro right now, so we have an intro, but because of the software changes, the camera changes, the sound changes. Anybody that's on here, I know Robbie, I saw a couple guys, Mike, that were on here earlier today helping us with some sound checks. We went live a couple times this morning before lunch to try to get this sound crisp, loud, clear, everything it needs to be, especially for our podcast listeners that download this show after the show goes to podcast platforms, which Jeff told me just a minute ago he's behind on last week's show. So I assume Jeff will be getting last week's show and this week's show uploaded to all our podcast platforms here very soon. Adam Savage, thank you. He was here earlier.
I'm jealous of your phone stand. That's nice.
I told you it's $20. You had all day, all afternoon to just run around Walmart or somewhere pick you one up.
I thought you ordered off Amazon.
Well, I did, but I bet Walmart carries them. Well, you won't need this once we get our real studio built up.
Yeah, I'm gonna save $20.
Giveaway tonight. Trivia giveaway at the end of the show. It's a signature series giveaway.
That's right.
So basically,
2 baits from each of us.
2 different signature baits from each of us. Brian's giving away some signature jigs.
Yep, my little micro finesse football jig from Fitzgerald Fishing. Got 2 of those in a half ounce and a 3/8. And then, of course, we have the new big bladed chatterbait from Z-Man. This is a bait I've been working on for a couple years. I think I've talked about it before on the show, but I've got you 3 different colors, and I think I got all 3 sizes here. We got a half and 5/8. I didn't bring a 3/4, but we got a half and a 5/8. A couple different color options: white, the new fire crawl with the orange blade and the bluegill color. What you got, Matt?
We got some spinning PJs, the Pulsefish. We gave away a bunch of these last week on the show in a big Pulsefish giveaway. I can't remember who won that, but that'll be coming to your house very soon. The Pulse jigs, we got a 5/8. We got a couple 3/8. 3/8 is probably the more common size. And then we got a pack of Lunker Hunt fetches, of course. So it's a signature giveaway, $50, $60+ at least retail value of the giveaway tonight. Trivia question at the end of the show. And we got a good one. Thrift came up with it. So this is the 4th trivia question he's come up with in 72 years. But
all 4 of them has been in like the last 2 months. So.
I'm proud of you. You hadn't been to 4 shows in the last 2 months.
That's very true. That's very true.
That could be an accurate statement.
I've been fishing, though.
Thrift? Yeah, you have been fishing. So I don't even know. When's the last time you were on the show? They can tell us before you can, I bet.
It's been quite some time.
No, stingers.
2 or 3 weeks.
It's been at least 3 weeks, I think. So,
yeah.
Believe it or not, Pete, stingers are actually not his signature
Yeah, they're
bait.
not my signature brand.
You would think.
That's a bait Demiki already had, and It's awesome.
So, Chris said he just got a couple Lunker Text orders, Jeff, in the mail, jerk baits and jigs. So appreciate that, Chris. No, I'm not giving the answer. Actually, I think I already forgot the answer. Chris is going to have to remind me later. But
you hadn't forgot it.
The trivia question being in the show. Sponsors, real quick, guys, because we don't have our sponsors on our screen. There again, we're in a transition period. We're going through some software changes, mic changes.
My butt's definitely going to fall asleep. We're going to have to cut it off about 7:30 tonight. New doesn't whine this bad when he's on the show. That's true.
Thinking about your comeback.
That's true. I mean,
I'm just throwing that out there. But when we get the new studio, we'll have you a nice. What do you want us to get you? Like a king throne,
yeah, that'd be nice.
Red carpet running in the door to the throne. You want
I don't want red.
You want some LED lights around the chair?
Mm-hmm.
Like a crown to wear?
Nah, I don't want a crown.
You don't want a crown?
Just keep going, though. I like where you're going.
I'm just throwing ideas out there.
I know. Just keep
I don't know how
going.
to please you. I don't know how to please you.
I'm always happy.
We are in the bourbon. We're in the whiskey studio tonight.
Jeff has got a pretty impressive collection, and it looks really good.
He does. An orthopedic desk chair. Corey recommended.
Ooh, that's what I need. That sounds good.
We can talk bourbon, Nick. I mean, that's not a problem, but I know we don't have a lot of listeners that would be real happy with that. Why is Pros coming back to Bass? Why is Pros coming back to Bass? I don't understand that question unless Ernie, and Ernie's a buddy of ours. You're referring to maybe Jacob Porosnik.
Yeah, Porosnik, and I think Ike re-qualified this year.
Nobody knows what Ike's doing though.
That's true. I don't even know that
Ike is the king of milking a situation for all it's worth, putting people on the edge of their seat for as long as he can, and forcing that anticipation and the eagerness that everybody's striving. So I'm like, at this point, I'm just like, I told Bass, I said, you know what you should do? I said, just give him a deadline. You should have given him a deadline like 2 weeks after he qualified. And he's got to give an answer.
Working. I know last time I talked to him, he's working on a new TV show. And Ike's a busy man. He's
super busy. One of the hardest workers in the industry and a great angler. And would love to see Ike back on the Elite Series. But that being said, he's not going to give an answer until probably the night before the deadline.
Right.
For good reason.
Brian Clary wants me to tell why I have such a hard time landing smallmouth.
Jump on it.
I don't know. I need somebody to watch me try to land a smallmouth and tell me what I do wrong, because obviously I have no idea what I'm doing.
Do they end up in the boat?
Yeah, most of the time, but it's
okay. All right.
It ain't pretty. I watch videos of everybody else. I go back after the tournaments, after the event's over, and watch some of the live or some of the fish catches and stuff. And these guys are catching these smallmouth, and they get them beside the boat, and they just lay their hand on them and pick them up, and they just lay there. Just steal. I put my hand under them. They flop. They try to fin me.
You got to know.
They try to put a hook in.
You got to know where to touch them, Brian.
I don't know. I lay them in my hand. They slide off the side.
You got to know.
It's awful.
You got to know where to put your hand. It's all about those pressure points. I'll teach you that one day.
Hey, it was so bad. I threatened to go buy some grip tape and stick it on the side of my boat so I could just pin them to that grip tape and then lip them, so they couldn't slide out.
You're gonna be like some of the you're gonna get banned for that. You'll be like some of the NFL players that put the adhesive on their gloves and all that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a strip of that down the side of my boat next time.
So just to get a little off topic. Okay, indoor soccer. Anybody familiar with indoor soccer? You know what the soccer ball looks like? An indoor, so it looks like a big tennis ball. It's kind of fuzzy. All right, that's what it looks like.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's what it looks like. So the goalkeepers on the indoor team that I used to play with would actually put Velcro on their gloves. Now, that'd be real careful, because when you catch that ball, well, not only would it make a sound, but you had to kind of roll it off on your chest, or you had to loosen your grip pretty quick, because if it was too strong of Velcro, you could do this with the ball and nothing would happen. So
they didn't like that.
To your point. I don't know if they would
grip tape probably illegal.
Yeah, yeah. Do y'all not get penalized if you pin a fish against the side of the boat? Can you do that and pull it in?
Yeah, we can pin one to the side of the boat.
Okay, but you can't. Once it comes in, it just can't hit the floor. You can't lose control of it and hit the floor or something like that.
And that happens. I'll have them lit and be trying to unhook them, and they'll flop and just fall on the floors. I have a heck of a time with smallmouth. I don't know why. I really don't know.
Tattoo. Oh, Pete Brandt said he knows indoor soccer. He said his favorite player was Tattoo with his Dallas Sidekicks. I'm not even going to get into that because I was a big soccer player growing up, and I used to collect baseball cards, basketball cards. But it's funny Pete brought that up because I collected some soccer player cards. And
I didn't even know they had soccer.
Yeah, they did.
Cards.
So they had starting lineup figures too that were starting lineups.
Oh yeah, the little figures.
Yeah, they had baseball. My older brother still has a collection, unopened collection of he's probably got he has like the Bash Brothers. You know who the Bash Brothers are?
Yeah, Jose Canseco and
Who's the other one?
Mark McGuire.
I am impressed. You just had that poster on your wall or something when you were a kid.
No,
didn't you? How do you know that? You never even followed sports.
I don't remember how I remember that, but I remember it. I don't remember how I remember, but I remember.
Jeff, we got another quote here. I don't remember how I remember that, but I remember it. So, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Back to our sponsors. We have the presenting sponsor of the show, which is normally displayed on the screen. Forgive us tonight, but Angler's Choice Marine, big supporter of the show. The reason we're able to have this nice equipment, the reason we're able to make good sound, the reason we're able to change studios and get some things spruced up for y'all. I'm telling you, bear with us. It'll be worth it.
It's going to be really, really nice.
Yeah, we have some really cool things in the works for the studio and some different things. But we'll get all that situated in the coming weeks. This is temporary, and it's going to have to be temporary the way you're complaining about this couch. But
I mean, I like the couch. But the way I have to sit, my right butt cheek's falling asleep. Oh, I just hit my funny bone.
Well, change the way you cross your legs. Like, go to the other leg.
Oh,
there you go.
Hit my funny bone.
I mean, he just walked. He hit his funny bone on the side of the couch, so he gets up and left. He leaves. He just walks out. He just walks out of the studio. I mean, just leaves. He must be in a lot of pain. Have you ever seen that before, Jeff? I mean, dude just walks out. He hit his funny bone. He hit his funny bone, y'all. True story. I mean, he gets up. He's over there. He might be getting ready to shed a tear. He literally might be getting ready to shed a tear. All right. So we have Brian. I think Brian Key. We did a bunch of testing earlier today. All right, Brian's back. So
I apologize.
Angler's Choice Marine, guys, 3 locations. If you're in the market for a new boat, they got them. So a lot of we've talked about this. A lot of stores are struggling to get inventory. They got them rolling in every week right now. Locations in Martinsville, Virginia, Lexington, North Carolina, and Spindale, North Carolina. Go see Angler's Choice Marine if you're in the market for a boat. I've done business with them for years and years, and so has Brian.
Yeah, and great service crew. You know, they're the whole package dealership. They've got great service guys, wiring your electronics, installing graphs, doing trolling motor work, even a great tackle selection, you know, especially at the Martinsville store. I know Matt and myself both been there. Great tackle store. They got everything you need for bass fishing.
Andy Lavin, I believe Andy's the one that won our trivia last week. I just saw getting some good feedback on the sound tonight, Jeff. So well done. Little hissy. Yeah, that'll work itself out.
I still can't feel my pinky on my left hand. Matt's not even concerned.
I'm not concerned. You hit your funny bone. I think you'll be okay. You'll live.
My pinky is still numb.
So, other sponsor of the show, Pulsefish Lures, who was sponsored the giveaway last week of over $100 in Pulsefish goodies, and this week is helping out, obviously, with some of my signature baits, but a big supporter of the show also. We appreciate those guys, Mr. Todd Goad and that crew, Pulsefish.
I got one question about Todd.
About Todd Goad?
Yeah, you were at the Pittman Creek show last weekend.
I was, yes, sir.
How delicious is that gumbo? Did he make the gumbo?
No, he made the crawfish etouffee.
That's what I meant, the etouffee.
Well, it's totally different things now.
I know, but
okay.
I'm from North Carolina, so it's the same.
I'll take a few seconds because it deserves it.
Yes.
To let everybody know.
Golly, that stuff's good.
They cooked it up, okay? So a good friend of Todd's came over. He did ribs. He did what I heard, he called it cooler corn. Have you ever heard of cooler corn?
I've heard of it, but I'm not real sure what it is.
Okay, so, it was in a cooler in a thing of water, and like you boil it and you just throw it in there and leave it in the water. Yeah, just
steam kind of.
Yeah, and then leave it in the water, and then you just take it out and it's ready to eat. So, I mean, I don't know exactly what the process was, but I know it was delicious. Now, the ribs were phenomenal, but over to the crawfish etouffee.
Oh, it's delicious.
Dude, so here's my issue with crawfish, first of all. I don't really want to... No, not in the etouffee.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Am I saying that right? Etouffee?
Yeah, it's close.
Etouffee?
I'm good. I know what you're saying.
Etouffee.
I know what you're saying.
How they say it in deep Louisiana.
I don't know. I say
etouffee.
I call everything gumbo. If it's got crawfish in it, it's a gumbo.
Nah, them people in Louisiana smack you right upside the head.
Well, I'm not in Louisiana. I'm in North Carolina.
So the etouffee, the number one, I like it because the crawfish are already clean. It's just the tails in there.
Yeah.
I don't like going to a crawfish picking because I don't like cleaning them little jokers for the little bitty piece of meat. It takes too long.
You just pop a little tail off and get it
I'd much rather have a lobster or something that I can get a lot more crab, big old crab legs, something I can get a lot more meat.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
But that being said, and Todd, I just saw him comment.
Yes.
That is the best. Hands down. And I've eaten maybe 6 or 7 different places. Not a ton. I'm not a crawfish etouffee expert by no means, but it was the best I have ever put in my mouth by a landslide. By a landslide. I had a bowl of it for dessert when I got done. That's how good it was.
That's the way I usually do it.
I'm dead serious.
So Todd usually prepares this big meal for the guys, and like every year I'll eat a giant bowl of the crawfish etouffee, and then he'd cook like a steak or something. I'd eat a little bit of steak, and then I'd have another bowl of crawfish etouffee for dessert.
Mm-hmm. And
as you can tell, it's working on my belly.
No, it was amazing. You got to throw a little rice in there, and then, dude, it was like hot in the pot, straight up, ready to roll. Thanks again, Todd, for the unbelievable hospitality, and that was one of the best meals I've had in a long time.
I hate I didn't get to make it this year.
So, let's jump into some different topics. You know, we've talked about some different things. The topic. You have to answer this question.
What?
How many shots did you have to fire into the deer that you just recently killed?
One.
He's telling a true story.
One shot. With a crossbow.
So it is fall, y'all, which means deer season is here. Brian and I both spent some time in the woods. I might have spent a few more. I don't know. When he gets on a roll, he gets to hunt like every day.
Well, see, no, it's different though. Like I may go more days consecutively than you.
Right.
But your one hunt is as long as 4 of mine together.
That is an accurate statement also.
Yeah. Like I hunt when you need to be there, like 30 minutes before dark when you go see something.
You don't think deer move before 30 minutes before dark?
They do, but it's not as convenient for me.
Oh, okay. No, it's convenient. It's just a matter of you don't want to sit there longer than 30 minutes.
No, I don't want to sit. I want to sit there about an hour tops.
About an hour. There you go.
At the most.
You never been on a good rut hunt though, where you just from sunrise till 11 o'clock in the morning, there's just bucks and does running everywhere, like just going crazy.
Nah,
and that's hard to see around here. First of all, hard to see around here. G3 add-on blades, I have not, Brian. Is he talking about? I'm assuming you're talking about broadheads.
I have no idea.
Huh? I'm assuming you're talking about broadheads, but no, I'm actually a ramcat guy. I shoot ramcats, 125 grain ramcats. Brian shoots a crossbow and an expandable head. What kind of head do you shoot?
Maybe a G5. Does that sound like a brand?
Yeah, G5's a brand. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that's right, Buddy Hill. He kills the ones that play his game.
I do.
So let's jump into this. Oh, I got to mention something real quick, and I posted this on my Facebook page and my Instagram. I'm doing this as a follow-up to LTF. It's not going to be live because I had some questions about that. But it's called Mancavemondays. And if you go over to my Facebook page or my Instagram, you'll see the intro video that I posted yesterday. And what it's for is to chat about things that I'm not allowed to talk about on LTF, like deer hunting. No, not exactly, but a little bit, yeah. So I told people to DM me questions that we don't get to answer on the show, or about anything, doesn't matter, industry stuff, fishing stuff, and I'm going to pick 2 or 3 of those questions. It'll be pre-recorded, and I'm going to post it every other Monday. It's going to be a Man Cave Monday and from the shop.
That's pretty cool.
So, and we'll do some product spotlights and some technique stuff, but it's to give an add-on to LTF to where if there's stuff that we don't get to, which that happens every show, and we apologize for that.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, we would like to answer every single question we see on the feed, but we just can't. But go over to my page or DM me any questions that you have that we don't get to on the show, and I'll be sure to try to follow up the best I can on the Man Cave Monday videos. All right. Because somebody asked me, the reason I thought about that is because somebody asked me, one of the questions I got sent was they wanted me to talk and show my bow setup.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, I wouldn't be allowed to do that on LTF, but we're going to do it in the Man Cave.
Hey, you can do it here.
Yeah, I mean, I know I could, but we got yelled at before. This is Let's Talk Fish, not Let's Talk Deer, and we talk deer hunting enough. All right, fall fishing. The title of the show tonight, the topic of the show was, it's fall, y'all.
It is.
This has been one of the crazier falls that I've seen as far as just the fishing in general. I haven't spent much time on the water, as y'all know, in the last couple months, or last month at least.
We were all wrong with the
G3 blade something.
I don't know. Yeah.
So what was it? No, it's like a 3-blade that you add on your fishing lures, like an Alabama rig nose.
Is that for real? I don't know.
G3
Yeah, we'll
add-on blades.
It's a good idea.
All right, we're gonna have to check that out, Brian. You got us curious now.
Yeah, like I'm curious now because I consider myself, in the know on tackle.
So
I haven't seen that yet.
did you consider the excuse me, the Bass Open at Norman like a full fall tournament?
No.
Okay, I didn't either.
Nope.
So, but what I've seen since then is I've heard of a few things changing, but the diversity of techniques in that tournament, though, like, okay, so let's just talk about this. Like in the Bass Open, you had some guys caught them 35 feet deep.
Yeah.
You had some guys catch them in 2 feet of water. But none of the guys that stayed shallow shined. None of the guys that stayed shallow really did really well. One local, maybe Lineberger, but the rest of them, yes, even if they were fishing docks, I don't consider them. A lot of those docks were a lot deeper than a lot of people thought.
Right.
Cody won the tournament fishing. You could call it shallow, but I think a lot of his bites were in that mid-depth range, like that 8 to 12 range. But I did not see. So point being is the shallow bite, the true shallow bite.
Yeah, it hadn't got there yet.
Should start materializing in the coming weeks.
Yes, that was kind of our first little cold front and rain system of the year.
Yep.
And it had just kind of started getting those fish moving, but they really hadn't started making their full-on fall transition, I don't think. I think it was more of a full summertime tournament. I imagine there were probably a lot of fish cruising like they do in late summer, kind of like brim bed fish, but there's not brim beds. They're just cruising down the bank.
I heard a few guys chatting about that, a little bit.
Yep.
All right, big lakes you like to fish here in North Carolina. So let's talk, before we get into that, Stephen, let's get back to the fall, this fall transition. We said it's fall, y'all, because we're just now finally starting to see some cooler weather. Next week.
Yeah, it's supposed to get down
40s.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 days in a row, next week's going to get in the 40s in North Carolina, South Carolina. There's a BFL regional going on down at Lake Murray this coming weekend. Ought to be very interesting to watch. We got some good friends down there practicing for that as we speak. And one of them sent me a picture of a really big one he caught today.
Ooh,
nice. I mean, it looked like a 5 or 6 pounder.
That's good. There's a lot of those in Lake Murray.
There are.
A lot of those in Murray.
So best luck to my buddies down there fishing, and hopefully that tournament should be good. The BFL regional or the super tournament down there, the 2-dayer, for the fall tournament, for a September tournament, the weights were pretty decent. I think 24 pounds, top 10 for 2 days, and it took like over 30 to win.
Where was that?
Murray.
Yeah.
At Murray. Bradford Beavers won that tournament.
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
He's a stud down there at Lake Murray.
He is.
I mean, he catches them everywhere he goes.
Yeah, he catches them all over the country.
All right, big lakes to fish in North Carolina. Let's get back to Steven's question. We're going to try to get as many questions as we can tonight, y'all. Just so shoot us whatever. It's fall, so we're going to talk about fall fishing. But as far as the big lakes that we like to fish in North Carolina, I think we both like Norman quite a bit.
Yeah, Norman. I don't go to Wiley anymore because
not many people do.
Yeah, it's no fun.
That was one of the questions I got from a message, and we'll go ahead and answer that on here because it was an interesting question I got sent for the Man Cave Monday deal, and it was, I want you to rank Lake Norman, Lake Wiley, and Lake Hickory today as it stands right this minute. Rank them 1 through 3.
Norman, Hickory, Wiley.
I was going to definitely put Wiley third, and I was torn on Hickory and Norman because it's been a long time since I've been to Hickory.
Yeah, I haven't been there. I heard
it was really bad this year.
Yeah, I think it has been really bad.
So I'll go Norman, Hickory, Wiley too. All right, Norman number 1, Hickory number 2, and Wiley number 3. And Wiley is just—it's not good. It's not good right now.
No, it's not good at all.
It's.
I mean, they had the 2-day BFL Super Tournament a couple weeks ago. Brent Myers won it with 22. 11 pounds a day, just a touch over 11 pounds a day.
Buddy came in third and there was only like 4 guys that caught a limit 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
And if you caught a limit 2 days in a row, you're top 5, no problem. Buddy finished 30, he had 19 something for 2 days.
Yeah.
And he had a limit both days. He had 19 something. So
Yes.
very interesting. All right.
My legs sleep.
Would y'all? Okay, here's an interesting question.
What you got?
Joe Gentry. Would y'all support making it a rule where there has to be at least one professional tour tournament a year? I really enjoy seeing how folks adjust their game for different challenges. All right, I said it was interesting, but you're gonna have to clarify that.
Where's it at? Okay, let me read.
Do you understand what he's asking? Because I'm
reading. Let me read.
Okay, you're reading.
Yes.
Let's jump down to the next question from Mr. James Bryant. We're probably heading up to Fort Loudon Tellico for the BFL wild card in a few weeks. Y'all got any good info on that place in the fall? Well, I've never been in that place in the fall, but I bet you.
I don't understand the question either.
Yeah, clarify that question.
Reword it,
Joe. When you say a professional tournament, there's a lot more than one professional tournament annually. Especially, there's 2 different tours that Brian and I fish, and you're saying I really enjoy seeing how folks adjust their game for different challenges. Tournament a year. Maybe he means a month.
Oh, yeah. Now, if that's where you're going, I agree 100%.
Let us know if that's what you mean, Joe, if you mean monthly, like one every month of the year.
Yeah. Like, I feel like a part-time fisherman. I want to fish all year long.
Tellico and Loudon in the fall, Brian.
Ooh.
So, lots of big smallmouth in those fisheries, and I know smallmouth don't discriminate against cold weather, number one. He's got a few weeks, BFL wild card in a few weeks. Weather's starting to cool off. I think the fish are going to be making a move. I don't know areas of that lake that really shine in the fall. But
I've only been there in the spring.
I can tell you, I don't know. Tellico's always been a real hit or miss place for me. Loudon's always been more consistent. Seems to be.
I agree with that.
So Tellico, and it probably caused the water clarity, and it may just be the fish population overall. Loudon may just have more fish in it than Tellico for whatever reason. But that, I definitely look for some things to start changing, especially in the back of some of the major creeks and things like that. And then the smallmouth bite, man, I tell you one thing I like to do in the fall, and I know Tellico and Loudon have a lot of, they don't have a ton, but they have some really good bluff banks, really good deep water transition areas on the main channel, and those are great places to catch them in the fall on a jig.
Or you could take a play out of Ott's playbook and run way up the river in the fall and win everything like he does.
You don't get somebody's boat tore up, Brian.
Well, you got to use caution. You got to do that everywhere.
Well, some places are more dangerous than others, though. But yeah, you need to use caution no matter where you're running. Correct. So Loudon and Tellico, it'd be interesting. It's going to be weather dependent.
Yeah.
There you go. Jimmy Gayhart said Lake Cumberland is about ready to knock the safety off. It's fixing to turn on. Things are changing as we speak. In fact, things are really going to change by the end of next week.
Yeah, big time.
3, 4, 5 nights in a row in the 40s around here. That's going to make a big difference.
I kind of hate, we had the Toyota Championship on Cumberland a couple years, and this year it's on Pickwick. I think I leave free at the 22nd, but that was a fun tournament the last week of October at Cumberland.
Yeah.
Those smallmouth.
Was that the one that Andrew won?
Yeah, Andrew won it. The year I fished, Andrew won it, and then I don't remember who won it the next time it went. I didn't fish it.
Okay.
But it was fun.
Well, the most epic spinnerbait I've ever had was at Cumberland, too. Now, that was in the spring. We were there for a tour event. The one you won on a swim bait.
Yeah.
But the spinnerbait bite was...
Yeah, that's when it was nice and muddy, and I had every smallmouth in the lake to myself.
Well, no, there was a ton of smallmouth caught on spinnerbaits, and
but I don't think anybody was really targeting them.
You were fishing different.
Yeah.
That was the key, not the fact that you were targeting smallmouth. Because, dude, they were, like the second day, I had almost 18 pounds, and I had 3 smallmouth.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of big smallmouth. But where the water was dirty in certain areas, you know how them fish get. So, in a multi-species lake, in Beaver Lake 2008 is a perfect example.
Yeah.
When the water gets dirty in a highland impoundment like that, it's like those smallmouth and spots and largemouth, they just get stupid.
They do.
They get shallow and they get stupid.
Yeah, normally, especially it's kind of like the new lake phenomenon, I call it, because, well, if you think about it,
no, it's a good point.
When you have a lake that very rarely gets colored water, in certain sections, like the extreme lower end of a lake, if you have a big rain and you get some, decent water clarity, a little bit of stained water down there where those fish are not used to it, they've never seen it, the first thing they do is go right to the bank. They get to something, they get on rocks, they get on laydowns, and it's like every fish that normally lives out in the middle of the lake when they can see 6 or 7 feet, now they've got to get next to something. So they all rush the bank, and they're really dumb, and they're really funny.
And it is not a time that you need to be going down the bank fishing something slow.
No.
Don't go flipping a jig. I'm not going to say you're not going to catch them like that, but square bill, spinner baits, chatterbaits, cover water, because they're going to bite.
Yeah.
Todd Goad, all right, thanks, Todd, for the tip. So back to the question about Loudon Tellico. Todd said fish between Louisville and in Concord. That time of year, he said it's money. So that narrows it down pretty good.
Yeah.
That narrows it down pretty good.
Okay, Joe, he clarified his question. He said he wished all of the major trails, Bass, MLF, NPFL, would have a late season tournament, sometime after September, yep. November, 1st of December would be fine with me. That's something I would love to see is, as professional anglers, we never get to have a true wintertime bite.
Wintertime tournament, yeah.
Yeah, we never
start in Florida.
We always start down the extreme south, where it's pretty much like every trail follows the spawn. It's like all they want to do is catch spawning fish.
We went to Lanier in February, and we went to Loudon in February, and them son of guns were winter tournaments.
Yeah,
it was freezing.
But it's been a long time since we've had those events like that.
Yeah,
it's been at least.
I fished one last year and one.
Well,
year before.
Y'all did go to Loudon early last year.
Yeah, it was like freezing cold rain.
Right, that's true.
And then,
I forgot about that.
Now our season last year, though, we fished some fall tournaments all the way through October last year because of COVID and the way the schedule was stretched out. But that's.
But it's always like northern events, like when they have an event up, September, October. It's always like it's up in smallmouth country somewhere. Like, I want to get down south where the fishing's tough, and you might actually learn something.
Yeah, there's been some, like, I will be the first to tell you the 3 tournaments we fished in the fall last year: Gunnersville, Chick, and Santee Cooper.
Yeah,
were 3 of the toughest tournaments I've ever fished in my life.
And that's what I enjoy, because it's...
Well, you can separate yourself a lot easier.
Well, and it's not even that. The reason I enjoy it is because there's not a lot of information out there. Guys can't go run history. They've got to actually get out there and practice and try to find something. They can't just, last spring I caught them on this stretch of bank or on these trees or something like that. It's totally different in the fall. You don't have that history there. You can catch them on so many different baits and so many different patterns.
It's a good time of year to paddle
that's not exploited. And I guess that's one good thing, is because it's not exploited, but after a couple of years it would be. But I think that would be interesting. I know I would love to see more events like that.
That's something that the NPFL did this year, is they spread their tournaments out. I think they had 6 events in a championship, and they did 2, 2, and 2 across like 8 months. So and that's pretty cool. I'm all about a tough event. I would rather if we have 9 elite tournaments a year, I would love to see 7 of them be grinding type events. Be tough events.
Yeah,
in tough areas at tough times. Now, we got to.
They're like spread it out, like to me a perfect schedule. If you had 8 events, have maybe 2 pre-spawn events, 2 spawn events, 2 post-spawn, 2 summer events, and 2 fall events. That may have been way more than 8.
Well, no, it just. But there again, even it doesn't even matter when the seasons are. It depends on the lakes, because if you have 2 winter events and go to Florida, it's not really winter events. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're talking about a winter event, like somewhere it might be snowing.
Right.
But the lake's not frozen.
Right. Yes.
Not up north. A winter event, but use some common sense. But yeah, so that would be interesting. And I, those were some of the tournaments that when I went back and watched some of the Elite Series tournaments in the fall last year, those are some of the more entertaining events from a fan standpoint because of the unknowns.
Right. Because of the unknowns.
If you go to St. Lawrence River, or you go to Lake Champlain, or you go to St. Clair in July or August, It's going to be a smallmouth fest. It's going to be a lot of deep water fishing. The Champlain's a little more diverse,
right?
But
it's still that
St. Lawrence very repetitive. The way the tournaments are, the way the tournaments are won, the way the fish are caught, different areas typically,
right?
But it's the same. You know, St. Clair, same old.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I'm not a big fan of same old.
I'm not either.
I've been vocal about that.
That's why I'm looking forward to next year. Like for the MLF schedule of the 7 events we have, I think I've only been to 2 of the lakes. So I get to fish 5 new lakes for the first time.
So what 5 lakes are new for you next year?
The lakes in Louisiana, they're so new to me, I don't even know the names of them.
I was going to ask you where at.
I think one of them is Caney or something. It's in the West Monroe area of Louisiana. So that's one I've never been to. I've never been to Cayuga. I've never been to Mille Lacs.
You'll love Cayuga.
And where's the other ones at?
Mille Lacs.
Yeah. Is that not how you say it?
Yeah.
Lacs?
Yeah.
Lacs.
No, you just say it better. Mille Lacs.
Mille Lacs. Yeah, whatever.
We only have, well,
I don't even know where else I'm going.
We go to the Mississippi River, which I've only been to one time, so I'm excited to go back there. But we go to Oahe. And
Watts Bar. I've never been to Watts Bar.
That'd be cool. That's 23 hours from the house. Oahe is 22, whatever it is.
That's a long drive.
It's a long drive. But I've already got my boy Neil Paul. He's going to ride with me.
He's going
to be a marshal, and he doesn't know yet, but he's going to drive most of the way. He's really not riding with me.
I think he knows that.
He's driving.
I think he knows that.
He's going to help me out. Now, Neil's my boy. I appreciate it, Neil. But we're going to ride out there together. That'll definitely help that trip out. 23 hours is a long time in the truck.
That is a long time in the truck.
And between
Neil, I need to get up with you. I got some good recipes you need to eat the night before you drive him. Like I make a good chili. Really good chili.
I don't think Neil's on here tonight, but he'll definitely be listening afterwards.
I'd love to make you some chili the night before you drive Matt to South Dakota.
Why? I mean, why? Why would you do that?
Just because it's fun. It's funny to me.
Fun.
It's funny to me.
Look, but you don't have to help Neil out in that department. Between Neil and I, we will not be short.
Oh, you got some competition. New just said he's driving him.
No, he's not. I can promise you, New. Brittany will be with New.
That's true.
And Neil ain't climbing in the truck with them 2 for 23 hours. Ain't nobody in this country in their right mind going to climb in the truck with you and your wife for 23 hours, New. And everybody knows it. And you know it too. She may not be going though. Brittany may not be going. New might be by himself. You can follow us if you want to. You can follow us. But between Neil and myself, we'll have plenty to talk about. Yes, Adam, I will be traveling with the SMC crew again for 2022. It'll be myself, Mr. Canterbury, and old Hollywood. And we're gonna have a good time. All right, I'm gonna get back to some questions that we didn't get to. There was one about a fish loss. Did you see it?
Fish loss?
Yeah. So let me get back to this fish loss question because we've had this before. But you know, there's a lot of ways to go about recovering from a big loss.
Here we go.
So question for both of us, Keith Wood. He wanted to know, how do you get over a big loss? You know, he lost what would have been his biggest topwater fish last weekend on High Rock, and it's still giving me nightmares. Well, I tell you what, Keith Wood. You lost that fish. I don't know if it was in a tournament or not, but it was a High Rock and it was a local tournament, so I imagine there was, a little bit of money on the line, maybe not a ton. Possibly. Might have been a club tournament.
Still, it doesn't matter when you're fishing. You don't want to lose a big fish.
Might have just been fishing for fun. But regardless.
It still stings a little.
To Brian's point, it sucks to lose a big fish, but you could think about your buddy Matt, who actually lost $250,000 this year from lost fish, and maybe that'll help you feel a little bit better. But no, in all honesty, it's just you can't. There's nothing. I mean, some things are out of your control. If you tried to flip him in the boat and he flopped off, maybe it was your fault, or maybe you did something.
Yeah, but you can't really say that because even that's not your fault. Because odds are, if you'd have played him, he wasn't hooked good. Like if you try to boat flip him and it comes off.
Well, it depends on what it's on too. You can rip hooks out of fish's mouth by flipping them on the wrong type of stuff.
Yeah, I did that. When did I do that? Oh, this year at Redcrest, the first day. First day at Redcrest.
You tried to sling one that was too big?
Yeah,
or you had it on like a crappie hook or something?
Yeah, way too big on way too little bitty of hooks.
Treble hooks?
It's on a jerkbait, yeah, treble hooks.
Oh, no.
Little bitty number 6 treble hooks.
That's what you don't do. Straighten hooks out? or break your
No,
arm?
he just come off.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's on a jerk bait, and I hadn't had it's been like an hour, and I hadn't had a bite, and I hadn't figured out where they went. And I finally get a bite, and it's like right at the, I don't know, it's an hour into the day. And it's like, I mean, I knew it was a good one. I didn't think it was that big, and it ended up it's like 5 or 6 pounder.
And you went to swing it.
I tried to boat flip him on little number 6 trebles, and that wasn't good.
Keith,
But then I threw back the next cast and caught a 6 pounder.
Well, that helps. So that's a good way to recover too. So Keith, just keep a positive attitude. You know, don't worry about it. You're going to lose fish. It's part of what we do. We all lose them. It's funny you said that and I made a bonehead rookie mistake up at Champlain this year. I still landed the fish, but I'll tell you what happened. It's on a dirt bait, and I'm fighting it. I get it up next to the boat. Okay, get up next to the boat, and I'm like, the fish looks worn out.
Right.
And I'm like, I can't get it because
it's a smallmouth. You can't land
the
it.
jerk bait's across his, like, it's all weird, right? Yeah. So I can't get like.
Oh yeah, that's the way I am.
So I'm like, I don't know if I should. I normally grab them by the belly and just pull them in, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm just in a hurry. I'm not having a great day. It's day one. I only weighed in 15 something that day, and it's like a 3 pounder. And I grab my line and I pick it up. What do you think happened? Broke my line. Because the line, when it's coming out of the jerk bait, I wasn't paying attention, it was wrapped around his side fin, and it snapped my line.
Oh, God.
My jerk bait's all up in the, you know what the smallmouth did?
Swam off for your jerk bait?
He just laid over, just like that, and I reached down there and grabbed him with 2 hands and threw him in the boat.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Got my
now,
jerk
that
bait
was
back
fortunate.
That was lucky, but that was stupid at the same time. So, to our point, there's some things that are out of your control. There's some things that are under your control. You just got to keep fishing, keep casting.
And sometimes they just don't get hooked good. It seems like when you got a fish hooked good, you can't lose him. Like in practice, for example, like if I'm playing around in practice, I'll let him jump and go all around the boat and just do whatever. Like if somebody's riding by and you're trying to hide it and so nobody sees you because you got a bite, and you lay the rod down, push the button in, let him swim around, then the boat goes by and you wind him in, and like you can't lose one. It's just part of it. The best thing to think about, or the best way to think about it is you were looking for a big bite when you got that one, so just start looking for another one.
Jimmy Gayhart just invited us to come to Kentucky and see what kind of deer we can find. Oh,
Yeah.
Lord. Man, I used to hunt Kentucky. That's probably my favorite state I've ever hunted in, and don't tempt me. How do you like the Ultrex Thrift?
I like it.
Do you wish you would have switched sooner?
It's a yes and no. Like my whole thing was I knew I would love the Ultrex the minute it came out.
Jeff, you actually got Jeff to turn around from the computer just now.
Turn around, Jeff. I'm gonna tell you something right here.
Turn around, Jeff. He's got something to say.
So I never was against the Ultrex. Like I liked everything about it and everything it was capable of doing, but it had got to the point where I'd been so long without it. That was the first thing everybody asked me. When you get an Ultrex? When you get an Ultrex?
You were like Ike getting asked about the Elite Series.
Yeah, and so I made it a personal goal of mine to be the last professional angler standing with a Fortrex. So this year, when we went to the St. Lawrence for the MLF event, John Cox took his Fortrex off and put an Ultrex on his boat. So that I fished that event in the Fortrex. Thus, I hit my mic. Was the last man standing with a Fortrex on my boat. So after that, I got home and put the Ultrex on. And then as soon as I did, I had back-to-back top 10s too.
There you go. Brian said Brittany driving alone. I don't understand that. Does that mean she's driving separate from him?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Huh.
That's what it sounds like.
All right. Well, all right. A quick question. Give me a weight for the BFL regional. Now the BFL regional is 3 days, right? Aren't BFL regionals 3 days?
Yeah, I think the regionals are 3 days.
3 days. Lake Murray this coming weekend.
What day do they fish?
I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
I think Thursday, Friday. Yeah, this is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's 3 days.
Yeah.
Give me a 3 day wait to win that tournament to make the All American.
Golly, I ain't been down there. I'm gonna say
to win it now, not just to make the All-American. To win.
Well, you said to make the All American.
Well, if you win it, you do make the All American, but top 6 make the All American.
I'm gonna say 3 days.
That'd be more interesting. Give us what you think would just make the top 6, make the All American. What would get you an All American after
top
3 days?
6? I'm going I'm going 13 a day.
I was going to say 39 pounds.
Yeah.
I was going to say 39. I swear I was going to say 39 pounds.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. 42 wins. There's a comment right there. Todd Goat said 42 wins, 36 makes it in. So we said 39 pounds to make the All-American. So Todd and us are about 3 pounds off. I could see low 40s winning that tournament.
Yeah.
3 days. So
And I could also see upper 60s winning that. That's the thing about this time of year, especially on those herring lakes
you
like
remember
Murray.
the cup that Atkins won?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a perfect storm.
Right. And it could very well be something phenomenal like that, where just all of a sudden the lake turns on for a week at a time and just everybody blasts them. I mean, I know that particular tournament, Justin won like the first day. I had 19 and a half pounds at like 10:30. I'm like, I'm done. This is giant for August in Murray.
Never let up.
Yeah. Well,
Never let up.
We got a 4-day tournament. I know 19 and a half is
It was
good.
just 3, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was 3.
Yeah.
That was 3 days. But anyways.
I mean, you were still in good shape, but there was like 5 20-pound bags.
Yeah, I was in like 5th or 6th place. It was ridiculous.
So, yeah, Murray's a wild card this time of year.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely is because it's got tons of 3 to 5 pounders in it. It's just a matter of if they decide to get froggy. But, all right. That didn't mean go through a frog. That's not what that meant.
And not only does it have lots of 5-pounders, but it's got some giants in it too. Like it's got true giants in it.
All right. See, Keith said that puts it in perspective. He appreciated my comment about think about me when you see. Thrift's never had that heartbreak. He always lands the fish and wins the tournament.
No, I don't.
I always
either.
lose the fish and lose the tournament.
So I didn't know you'd lost a bunch of fish this year. I remember the one.
No, I lost 2 in the classic that cost me the classic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do remember.
That's all I'm talking about.
Okay,
like
I forgot about the classic.
just the classic.
I was still thinking about the one at Gunnersville the year before that.
Yeah, I had to erase that one from my mind, and then you brought that back up. So I appreciate that.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that's you add another $100K in there. What's $350,000, right, for a couple lost fish? Anyway, let's see. I saw a comment I wanted to get to.
Oh, my butt's falling asleep.
Oh, it was our setup. This is something we have not talked about, Thrift.
I got to get resituated. My butt's asleep.
You can adjust.
This couch is awful.
You can adjust. Don't knock our giveaway baits everywhere.
I got to get my mic fixed up.
All right, you tell me when you're adjusted, and I'll proceed.
All right, I think I'm good now.
You okay?
I don't
Jeff, look
like
at this over here. He's awful. This guy's he's so discombobulated.
I am.
You can't sit still. Do you do this like when you're like asleep at night? Do you roll around, talk in your sleep?
I do.
Walk in your sleep?
I do.
Do you? Do you move a lot?
Well, yeah, look at me. I'm moving all the time.
I see that.
All right, that's a little better.
Get you a shot of something off the wall back there.
slow me up.
Relax a little bit. I've got to get. Okay.
I was good, just my butt cheeks asleep.
Brian Collins, did you sell your 14, Brian?
My 14, what?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, I bet he's talking about 4-Trex. No, I still got it, actually. Still got my 4-Trex.
Is it for sale?
Yeah, I never thought about it, but yeah, I guess it is.
Just
somebody wants it.
Well, Brian Collins said he wants it.
Yeah, I got one for sale.
All right. Well, Brian, you want him to just send you a message?
Yeah, just message me. Hit me up.
Just send Brian a message, even though he never checks them. Send him a message.
That's true.
DM him. DM him on every social platform he has, and maybe he'll see one of them. Facebook, Instagram. Send him a DM, and y'all can maybe get hooked up on that. But
yeah,
what Brian wanted to know was what trolling battery setup do we both run, excuse me, as well as charger. So I'll go ahead and go first. I run, I got on the lithium board this year with a company called Rely On Lithium out of South Carolina. They're fairly local. They're a phenomenal company.
They're out of Charlotte.
Huh?
Thought they were out of Charlotte.
No, they're out of South Carolina. Now they might have. I don't think they have a distributor or anything in Charlotte that I know of. But anyway, Rely On, phenomenal company. They do a lot of really cool things, not just within the industry, but outside the industry too, as far as conservation and things like that. The Limitless Blue program, something they do where they donate some proceeds to helping conserve our environment, and they give back. So that's one thing I like about it. But as far as the setup, I run 4 Rely On 100s. The 100, I believe it's HPRB model, is my cranking battery. The 100 I believe they're RBs. Don't hold me to the letters, but you can double check on the website. But they're the 100 series. I run 3 for my trolling motor setup. They're 12. I run a 12-volt system on my lithium setup, and I run the Power Pole Charge, the Power Pole charging system, which is it's unreal, guys. I mean, I run it off my phone. I can actually change my power distribution. You can do all kinds of things with that Power Pole charging system that has really, I don't want to say it's changed the game in the charging world, but it really has to an extent, because there's things I can even change on my boat. If I want to send more juice to my trolling motor battery, send more juice to my cranking battery, change it up during the day, from my phone I can do that.
You can prioritize.
I can prioritize. That is the professional word.
Exactly.
I can prioritize my charging. All right, Brian, so what's your setup?
My setup is pretty similar to Matt's. I'm running lithium also. I run a MillerTech 100 amp hour trolling batteries and run their cranking battery. And I
all
just
100 size?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, all 100 amp hours. And I like the 3 12-volt lithium batteries better than like
Amen.
running 2 36 volts, because I did a little bit of research and it seemed like you get more trolling time out of 3 of the 12 volts than you would 1 36 volt.
You know, I agree, and I'm not I'm not going to say any brands here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to talk in general that the issues I've seen arise, whether it was batteries dying too soon or, you know, has been with the 36 volt individual systems more than the multiple 12 volt systems. And I don't know, that's just what I've seen through my experience over the past few years with lithium battery setups. So I did the same thing for some similar reasons that Brian did, run 312s for my trolling motor setup, and hey, my Relions were exactly what the name is. They were I was able to rely on them all year. They were phenomenal, and I'll be running Reliant batteries again next year. And looking forward to doing that. And yeah, I didn't know you were on the lithium train too. So
yeah, this is actually my second year running lithiums. This is my second year running the MillerTechs, and I've been very good. Like, I've got no complaints. Very, very good batteries.
All right, Pete Brandt, he's got a lose question for me, so I'm gonna jump on that. What's your spook buzzbait setup, Matt? So I actually use the same rod for a spook and a buzzbait, unless I'm going down to like a little bitty tiny small buzzbait. But the Lose has a Custom Pro 7.3 medium heavy that I use for both a buzzbait setup and a spook setup, and I'm using a Lose titanium 7-to-1 gear ratio reel, and every once in a while I'm making super long casts and things like that with the a walking style top water. I may go to braid, like a 30 or 40 pound braid, the P-line TCB braid. But as far as the buzzbait, I throw that PF original a lot on the buzzbait, and
I like it, and until they came out with the top water line.
Well, that's true, which is still it's a similar but better.
Water line.
The copolymer. I'm glad you reminded me of that, because that's actually what I'm throwing now. But PF original, one thing I like about the top water line and the PF original is castability.
Right.
Phenomenal casting distance with that line. But it is copolymer. But it's a great top water line. That's my buzzbait and walking bait setup.
Let me ask you a question a lot of people don't think about, and I see a lot of guys doing, is buzzbait. Obviously everybody throws a soft plastic on a buzzbait now. I don't think anybody throws a skirt anymore.
That's about the truth.
But are you a braid man on your buzzbait, or are you top water line?
I'm old school. I still throw the top water line.
I do too. I feel like I can cast it better and be more accurate and actually skip it better.
I'm the same way. And we've talked about this before. If you're worried about getting a hook in the fish or whatever it is, it doesn't come down as much to like your hook set and things like that as it does your line counteracting with the type of rod you're using. Right. The action of the rod you're using. So keep that in mind. You don't have to throw braid on a whopper plopper all the time. Necessarily. What I'm saying is adjust it based on the setup that you're using and you're most comfortable with. And that's something that Thrift and I have had a lot of luck with over the years, so that's the setups we prefer.
Yep.
Bo Adams asked, he wanted to know if the Power Pole charging system works with lithiums. So yeah, that's another cool thing about the Power Pole charging system is it has a feature on there on the app. You can turn it to lithiums. You make it to where it is set up for lithium batteries. So you have a little dial on there on your app to where you change it from AGM, lead acid, lithium, and you choose lithium. So, because that's a good question, because not all chargers are lithium capable,
Right.
especially some of the older
I think
models.
a lot of the new ones coming out. I know Minn Kota just came out with a precision charger that's, it's designed to be able to do the lithium batteries. Like, I think that's what it's designed for.
Yeah, if you've got a charger that's 7, 8, 9, 10 years old and you move over to lithium batteries, you need to make sure that charging system will work.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. All right, I don't know what time we getting at, Brian.
We got about 5 more minutes. Here's a question from Daniel. It says, Thrift, what's your setup for throwing fluke style baits? And I'm assuming you're talking like a weightless, soft plastic shad bait, like a fluke, a Demiki Armor shad, something like that. My setup on it, I throw a 7'3" medium heavy Fitzgerald stunner rod. I use a Abu Garcia Revo STX, and normally I'm making really long casts with it, so I drop my line size down. I'll drop down to 12 or 15 pound P-line tactical fluorocarbon, and that's my setup. That 7'3" stunner rod's got the perfect action for making really long casts and being able to drive a hook through the piece of plastic through that soft shad style bait like a fluke or the Armor shads.
Chris Anello said he had to know what these Zots were that we always talked about. Jeff, you'll like this. He started with a pound bag from Amazon. He's now on a 5-pound bag, and not only that, but everyone at work is now on the Zots kick too. They should sponsor the show. I don't even know who makes Zots.
I don't either, but we enjoyed a couple this evening.
We did. What candy company makes Zots? Jeff, do you know?
I don't know. Jeff, can you check on the bag of Zots?
We got a big old bag over there.
We got like
These are 100 count bags, but Jeff bought like literally 3 or 4 of them.
Any brandings on there?
Jeff's checking for us. He's checking for us. They don't want us to go direct. Amazon put their sticker right over the label. So, Jeff's having... Can you see it okay, Jeff? You need your glasses?
He's struggling, but...
What? That's a person's name. That's not a company.
I don't know.
Bag over here. Andre... All right, somebody figure out who we need to call at Zots.
There you go.
Tyler Ward has not tried Zots. Tyler,
they're pretty good.
You'll get you a sample here soon.
It's kind of like the opposite of the Sour Patch Kids. Like, first Zots are sweet, then they're sour.
Andre Prost is what
right?
Chris Anello said. Is it? Yeah, they're. I don't think they're really sour though.
They got just a little bit. They're not like crazy.
You mean when it starts fizzing?
Yeah, like just a touch. It's not bad. They're pretty good.
Okay. Again, guys and gals, appreciate everybody joining in. Thanks to everybody who helped us get our our sound up to par on our test runs that we did earlier today. Jose Alfonso said, "Call me." So if anybody has his number, maybe they should give him a call.
Well, he might have been wanting us to answer his previous question too.
Oh, sorry. Get on that.
What's a good day to go bass fishing? When it's sunny and cloudy? Sunny and cloudy, maybe sunny or cloudy. What's your favorite? Sunny conditions or cloudy?
I like sun.
I like sun too.
I like sun.
I'm all right. I'm gonna back that up because I like cloudy conditions in the winter and pre-spawn, but once the spawn through summer, I like sun.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna second that. I
lost all my comments.
Yeah.
Got them.
So, all right. Oh, okay. So, Jeff, here's what it is. GB Ambrosoli in Italy manufactures Zots.
There we go. We got.
Did you write that down?
Some Google heroes on the show.
Can you find his phone number?
It's on the back. Oh, Jeff might already knew that.
All right. So, guys, gals, we appreciate everybody. I see Casey Bowling on here. I remember Casey from earlier today. Thanks again to Casey for helping us fine-tune our sound for everybody tonight, because it's been great so far. So good,
yeah, we hadn't have any complaints about that.
No complaints. Hopefully, when all our podcast listeners get to download this podcast and they hear it in their car or truck or wherever they're driving to, it's just as clear and crisp for them. But again, more improvements to come.
Yes.
New studio in the works.
New studio.
More sound goodies. More camera goodies. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this right. But in the meantime,
this is the third studio, so
fourth.
Dang, it is the fourth studio.
Fourth studio.
But they get better every time. Like every time we switch studios, Jeff goes bigger and better.
He does.
And this is going to be pretty amazing when it gets done.
Agree. All right, trivia question time. Again, guys, if you asked a question, or gals, tonight, we didn't get to it, shoot me a DM. I'm going to try to pick 3 or 4 questions to do on my Man Cave Mondays. You can go over to my social media page, Instagram or Facebook. Get in on the Man Cave Mondays because I'm going to be using that as a platform to answer questions that we don't get to on the show. It'll be pre-recorded and it'll post on Monday. So looking forward to hearing from y'all for that. All right, Brian. No, he didn't take 50 shots on that deer last year. It was like 9.
Well, how many pellets is in buckshot?
If you're counting the pellets in each shell that you shot,
It might have been 50.
Might have been 50.
Might have been 50.
I don't know what's in double alt buck, but new couch for Thrift. We're going to have to do something, Brian.
We're going to have to do something.
Complaining about
I at least need a recliner.
He's complaining about his rear end all night long. Start paying the rent and they won't kick you out. Yeah, that's a good point, Jimmy. Maybe that's what Jeff's been doing. Well, no, Jeff, one of the studios was at his house, so I'm pretty sure that's still okay. But we wanted to maybe it was, did Leslie want us out, Jeff? Was that what it was?
I think
you just
that
didn't tell us
what it is.
He's thinking real hard on this question. He can't. We left. So we started in an office downtown. Then we went.
Then we went to Jeff's house.
Jeff's guest house.
Then we went to the warehouse.
That's right, Spencer. New didn't complain. New did not complain. All right, it's trivia question time. I think it's 8:00. Is it 8:00?
Yeah, it's 8:00.
It's 8:00. And giveaway.
Trivia question for the awesome giveaway.
The awesome giveaway is a signature series giveaway tonight. It's 2 signature baits from myself. Well, 2 different. Style and two different style signature baits from Thrift. Some of Thrift's jigs, some of Thrift's big bladed chatterbaits, some of my spinning PJs, the underspins, and some of my Lunker Hunt fetch swim baits. So here we go. I don't forget. I know the question, but I'm gonna let you ask it since,
I'll ask the question.
It's about you. Here we go. First of all, first answer we see come across our feed, mine or Thrift's, because Jeff's not even watching.
Jeff's not participating.
He's
tonight.
not participating tonight. He's got work to do. He's back there. He's back there on his like swordfish computer setup. Like
he does have a swordfish
and hacking into big banks and things like that. But no, in all seriousness, the first answer, correct answer we see come across my feed or Thrift's feed is the one that will win the prize. So here we go.
All right. So the question pertains to our giveaway, our signature baits. So what is the very first event that was televised, national event? It was a professional level event that I caught fish on the big bladed chatterbait. The very first event that I used the big bladed chatterbait in.
Now, would they know
need
that?
the answer to the lake.
The lake. We need to know the lake name.
Yeah, we need to know the lake name.
Would they know that from watching the show? Like, would you be able to tell what you were doing? Did you talk about it or anything like that?
Yes, because I threw it 3/4 of the day.
Okay. So people saw it. So, I mean, it became public, you know.
Yes, it became public. And I'm not going to give any hints yet. We're going to let...
You just got to guess the lake. You just got to guess the lake. And then you win this beautiful signature series prize package. I will...
I'm going to say it was the birthplace of the big bladed chatterbait because...
The birthplace.
Yeah, because we were going to this...
It was not Eufaula. It was not Eufaula. We've got that like 8 times already.
Little trickery there. Little trickery. So the lake we were going to, I knew it was high and dirty, and I was...
You're going to give it away.
Okay. I was piddling with some tackle, and I had some old big blades from like when Z-Man first started making chatterbaits, like 2007, and I just put one on a head, and it was magic after that. So.
All right. Well, we can...
I hadn't seen a correct answer yet. I didn't think this would be this tough.
Well, what we can do is in a minute or two, if we don't see a correct answer, we can give them a year. If you know the year.
I think I know the year.
That ain't going to work.
I can tell you who won the event because I led for 3 days, and then the 4th day I couldn't get a bite.
All right, so in a minute, not yet, in a minute. We have not seen it. It is not Santee Cooper. It is not Gunnersville. It is not Pickwick. It's not.
All right, I got a correct answer.
You
right
got
here.
one? I hadn't seen it yet.
Yep.
Who's it from? You said his name.
Craig. Hulsey. That's what I'm going with.
Craig Halsey.
The correct answer is Grand Lake. So, congratulations, Craig.
And we're not even sure what year that was. Who won that
I think it
tournament?
was 2019.
Did Jason Christie win it?
No, Christie didn't win it. It was, golly. I'm drawing a blank.
Andy Morgan?
No, it wasn't Andy Morgan.
How was it won? I can't even remember.
I can picture his name. I know him, talk to him all the time. he lives in Missouri, fishes up Lake of the Ozarks all the time. Golly, what's
It ain't Randy Blockett.
No.
He ain't won a tournament in 100 years.
Golly, I can't think
Sorry,
of his
Blockett.
name. Saved my life. Oh, well. I'm at a loss.
I can't think of his name.
Well, okay. You said I'll tell you who won it.
Jeremy Lawyer. That's who I'm looking
Jeremy
for.
Lawyer.
Thank you.
Jeremy, heck of a stick.
Thank you, Steven.
Steven, you the man. Appreciate that.
God, I drew it. Like, that's weird. Like, I'm worried about myself. I've got a very good memory, and that worries me.
So Jeremy Lawyer won that tournament.
Jeremy Lawyer won that
Jeremy,
tournament.
I think, might have qualified for y'all's the BPT for next year, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he did. Yeah, I think he is fishing with us.
qualifiers.
I think he is.
Good.
So,
Adam
anyway,
said,
Craig, if you will, message us with your information.
yes.
We'll get you this prize pack out and catch some fish on our baits.
Yes, send us
That's
a
what we
message.
designed them to do. Like,
That's right. Send us
these
a message. Go ahead. You finish. You finish.
Like-
You're still talking about the baits.
yeah, I mean, these baits are designed the way we fish them. Like, my jig and my chatterbait, I wanted a bait that I didn't have to tweak. Like, this is the way I would tweak baits in my garage, and they're manufactured like that. So you fish them right out of the package, they're good to go.
All right.
And I'm sure Matt's are the same way.
Yeah. I'm not going to give that same lame sales pitch you just did, though.
Well, I mean, it is.
I'm
Like,
just kidding.
I
I'm
hand
just
tied the
kidding.
skirts for the chatterbaits and like sent them to Z-Band, and they matched them.
Yeah, and that was the thing with the underspin, and the swim bait. We modeled the swim bait off another swim bait, an older swim bait that I wanted to make improvements on, and I can promise you the same thing with the underspin, testing, good hook keeper, a Gamakatsu hook, all the components that Brian and I want in a bait that we can take out of the pack and fish in a tournament. And we do this for a living, so it's got to be perfect.
Yeah.
So there you go. Good enough. Well, guys, we appreciate y'all joining in, and we're going to
Wait, what's next week? I think I'm actually be here next week.
I don't even know. Jeff?
Yeah,
what's up?
It's the 19th. I'm gonna be here next week.
Jeff's looking at me all funny.
May or may not be in this.
Yeah, I think Jeff said he might be in Mississippi.
As long as it's not my fault this time.
Yeah, possibly not. We'll double check.
2 a year.
We can't
Yes.
we can't guarantee that we'll be in the studio next week because Jeff may be out of town, out of sight, out of mind. But y'all, we really appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. It's been a good time.
It has been a good time.
Brian, you want to sign us off there?
I'll sign us off, of course, Matt. Since you've done so much tonight.
I don't know, is that a shot? I mean, is that
No, because you really Matt talks a lot more than me, and I appreciate it because I don't have that much to say. So if you
well,
know,
I probably talk when there's nothing to talk about.
Right,
I
but
just
that's
still
like-
ramble.
that's still good.
We compliment each
Yes.
other well.
Anyways, guys, thank you for watching tonight. Don't know if we'll have a show next week. I won't be here the next week after that. So we'll have a show sometime. But remember, if we can't go fishing, what are we going to do, Matt?
Sit right here and talk fish.